Have you ever met a perfect person? Someone who was perfect at everything he did. Someone who was a perfect leader and communicator, but still remained humble. The man I'm speaking of today conveyed his ideas with such passion and conviction that he would draw you in whether you agreed with him or not. He's a very well-known man. If you look up his name on Google, you will find over 165 million references. If you look up his name on Amazon, you will see that there are over 175,000 books written about him. He was the epitome of a perfect communicator. He ended his public communication over 2,000 years ago, but he is still speaking to his audiences today. His knowledge he continues to impart, if written down. All of the libraries in the world could not hold the volumes that it would produce. No other man has ever touched his audience the way that this man did. He communicated flawlessly. What is the definition of communicate? The definition of communicate is to impart knowledge, to make known, or to communicate information. What is the definition of a communicator? The definition of a communicator is someone who communicates, especially one's skills, at conveying information, ideas, or policy to the public. It is said that it takes 4 things to be a good communicator. You must have good content, know your subject matter well, be competent, and have a connection with your audience. This man did this, and he continues to do this today. He was the author of communication. He spoke the first words ever spoken, and he breathed the breath of life into every person that is alive today. He was here before there was no here. What do I mean by this? History tells us that in the beginning there was a heaven and earth. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the waters, and this man was moving over the surface. He then said, "Let there be light," and this is where communication was birthed. This idea may seem far-fetched to you. A lot of people have challenged his beliefs, his teachings, his way of life, and his mere existence, but if you study for yourselves and investigate, you will find that what I am telling you is true. Today you are now a member of his audience. The words that he spoke over 2,000 years ago are still powerful and still true. He speaks through his people, through his books, and through the lives of others. He communicates with such power and conviction that he has millions of followers spreading his teachings and beliefs to this day. One of his followers who is getting a lot of attention in the sports news today is Tim Tebow. He communicates this man's words through his daily life. Up until a few years ago, because of Tim Tebow, you would find the words of this man written on the faces of college football players. Billy Graham is one of the greatest communicators that are alive today, and even he will tell you that his words are not his own. He once said, "We are not cisterns made for hoarding, we are channels made for teaching." What he is talking about here is he's talking about sharing the teachings of this man that I'm speaking of today. Billy Graham's ideas are not his own. He is a mere communicator for the author. Today, people still write books, journals, and articles about the man I'm talking about, and about his life and his passion for communication to the multitudes. He focuses on convicting people so deeply that you will prompt you to share his beliefs and teachings with others. One of his last verbal communications was, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." What he meant by this is he wanted his people and his followers to be his voice. You may disagree, because even he said, "Many will hear, but few will follow." But he will captivate your attention so deeply that you will be forced to one day decide whether you're going to follow him or miss out on one of the greatest adventures of your life.